like the very first Christmas tree. Oh! I didn't see you there. Hi, Cameron here of Bubbles is on 4653 wishing you a Merry Christmas, or Kwanzaa, or Hanukkah, or Life Day, or Decemberween, what have you. And if you're one of those people that don't celebrate anything, I'm really sorry. I'll make sure you're not the only one suffering tonight, because we're doing Food Fight. A movie that doesn't have anything to do with the season, if you think about it. Wait, though I can link it somehow. Let's see. Christmas, shopping. You do shopping at a supermarket. Walmart has a grocery store and a supermarket in it. It matches. There we go. Now then, with that, time for Cameron's critique of Sausage Party, a Food Fight. Yeah. And before we get to the story, there's a video titled The History of Food Fight and Why It's So Bad by an Electric Dragon 50. Goes into intense detail about the movie's history, where it went wrong. Just type it in the search bar right now, and don't hit enter just yet, because you clicked this video for a reason after all. So, we start off with the supermarket closing for the night. From the outside, the inside of the store just looks like a wall painted to look like a store. Anyway, once Leonard locks the doors and drives away, wrecking the back of the car on the shopping cart, and the world comes to life into a huge city. We get some establishing shots up the wazoo with a bunch of jokes all over the place, and, well, since every single video I've seen reviewing this movie has said it, I might as well say it too. Is that Mr. Clean? Yeah, they got a bunch of real-life mascots from the real world. If you noticed earlier, you could see the Vlasic stork there, and there's a whole bunch more where that came from. So everyone take out your bingo cards and begin filling them out. Don't forget the free space in the center. Now, we meet our protagonist, Dexter Dog Detective, as he saves the day from the fat cat burglar, which looks like a rat. Or is it the fact that he's stealing cats? I don't know. Anyway, he saves the day, shows off how big of a corner the animators cut while falling back into the background. Just looks like a static picture just sliding down. Anyway, he gets congratulated by generic icons with the copy and pasted animations, and meets up with his friend Daredevil Dan. He tells Dex that he's nervous about proposing to his girlfriend, Sunshine Goodness. She's busy playing soccer with some kids by using a PNG of a watermelon that defies layers and perspective for like one frame, if you look close enough. Dex is having trouble popping the question due to stupid circumstances, and she leaves. And she vanishes for about 6 months. Oh, I should mention that Sunshine Goodness is the icon, or Ike, for a brand of raisins. Raisins are poisonous to dogs. She's supposed to be a cat girl, but she just looks like a human in face paint with ears. It warms her heart the way Dex loves her raisins. And Hilary Duff, who did the voice, was like 15 when the movie was originally supposed to come out. That makes it all kinds of creepy. Anyway, speaking of creepy, we meet the character played by Christopher Lloyd, Mr. Clipboard. Easily the most enjoyable part of the movie. He moves erratically and speaks in the most overly sinister voice he can muster. He represents Brand X and forces it on the shelf by stomping a bag of chips while the store owner mourns over it. Survival of the fittest, Leonard! Great Scott, this guy knew this movie would be bad and he's just having a ball. Anyway, the chips Ike R's in revenge, and that night after Leonard backs into another shopping cart on his way out, I think that thing has a thing against him. We see that Dex has given up on sleuthing ever since Sunshine disappeared. After a dumb scene with Dan crashing into not Keebler Elves tree, we get another scene introducing Polar Penguin, who gives Dex the bedroom eyes, and Cheese Weasel, who shoehorns in a Casablanca reference and slapstick. Also, Bob, I saw those little plushies you have of Dex and Polar. What is wrong with you? Crazy. Dex arrives at the Copa Banana and phases through the door to see a bunch of generic Ikes there. Reminds me too much of my days in Brawl. Everyone was playing as Ike. You know? I'll just keep him there. Where was I? And there are some real ones for your bingo card. While Dex drowns his sorrows in milk, a new Ike named Lady X comes in and actually bothers to use the door. She walks in, to an obvious Casablanca reference, and gets the Chips Ike in a tizzy, and after a little smack talk, a fight breaks out in the club. Only one joke to make with that: Hawaiian Punch! Then Dex calmly tells everyone to leave, and then, poof, they're gone already. Don't you wish it was that easy to get rid of people in real life? I mean, you know what I mean. Dex wallows in his own misery and in milk while Lady X arrives. She tries to seduce him by getting to hold her in some flexible positions. But before she can get anywhere, Dex is called out to find that Chips icon dead in the road, along with a bunch of others. The caller is an Ike named Harry Hold, who is a fox, I think? The website says he's a mascot for this fictional product, British Fox Hair Care, but it doesn't look much of a fox at face level. Either way, I think he's my favorite character aesthetically, at least before he pulled out his hair. Also accidentally insulting Mr. Clean. The next day, Mr. Clipboard promptly appears and replaces all the expired foods, which I just mentioned, with Brand X products. Dex immediately knows something is up, and he gets on the case, getting back to his old line of work. Meanwhile, the USDA, no, not that one, is promised by Lady X that all the Brand X Ikes will protect them after she shoves Harry Hold out of the way while he screams like Homer Simpson. Don't cry for me, Charlie Tuna. Don't worry. Brand X will make everything better. Argentina, Charlie Tuna, they don't even sound that alike. You're really stretching a movie. Speaking of stretching, Cheese Weasel is being interrogated by, I know it's not him, but I'm just going to call him that anyway, Tim Curry. It still sounds pretty accurate, and it's freaky. I could just kill you. That would be lots of fun. More fun than a spanking. Cheese gets slapsticked, and we get a creepy shot of his head sticking up between Dex's legs later that night. We get a great example of how deranged Cheese's animations are, and more slapstick happens to him while Dex gets the info he needs to find Lady X. He heads to where she is, and they do a strange combination of dancing and fighting and interrogating. I made it sound a lot cooler than it actually was. Dex somehow loses and gets knocked unconscious. He comes to in a dryer. Also, Daredevil Dan is there, saying that Brand X sent these exobite things to kill everyone that was killed earlier. They plan to take over the entire store, replacing everything. The dryer then... Sorry, I'm allergic to bullcrap. I like this movie. The dryer turns on, starting to roast them, but they escape the same way that socks do. Yeah. That's why I was coughing. That's a whole kind of... Anyway, when they make it back, it's under a new regime. Tim Curry creepily says some kinky stuff over the intercom, while Dex and Dan sneak off to Dr. Sinistrix. I don't like this guy. At all. Neither do a lot of people. Then I found out that his voice actor was also Titus from Final Fantasy X. Now I like him even less. Ha 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 ha! Titus explains that the secret ingredient to Brand X's product is toxic to humans and addictive. But I thought Brand X was a detergent, not a drug. Either way, Dex plans to get on Leonard's computer and force a recall of Brand X by walking through the store in daylight, before Brand X can completely take over the store. Morning arrives and hundreds of Ikes have fallen. The problem is, the aisle is suddenly crowded with people moving super fast. Now, should I make a Black Friday joke or a Frogger joke? In fact, they're going so fast they aren't even putting in anything in those carts as they're rushing by like F-Zero machines. They eventually make their way across, cue nostalgia critic freak out over the humans, how they look, and fly across through a bottle of soda that levitates. Why it is anyone's guess. And don't say it was shot off, because there's clearly nothing holding it up in this version. Yeah. That night, after Leonard runs a third bumper into that shopping cart, does that thing have a vendetta against him? They meet Vlad Chukul, who tries to hit on Dan. Well then, he was off by an exabyte along with other icons that were taken out earlier, but since Vlad is undead, he's still alive. Well, not exactly living, but he's not dead. It's like being in summer school. His words, not mine. Anyway, he shows our hero to get to the computer where a pretty IBM dancer lady named Blue helps fill out a recall form for Brand X. They fill out the template used for 2 other recalls. One for Priscilla Pusley's genetically giant prunes, and one for Sunshine Goodness raisins. Both were filed by Brand X Industries, and before they confirmed that a Brand X recall was sent, the power goes out. Brand X cut the power, and now they're at the Copa Banana, forcing them to recite the Brand X motto. Dex arrives just in time, and the Ikes of La Resistance all sing the French national anthem in retaliation. If you didn't catch the Casablanca references before now, this one is the deadest giveaway. Okay, it's not the exact anthem, but it is reworded to fit the cause. But either way, it manages to scare Brand X off. For now. While Dex gives everyone a pep talk and discusses the game plan, Brand X launches a full-scale assault on our heroes. However, they were prepared and toss a lot of food out at them after a battle cry fused with the title drop. The scene drags on, with everyone tossing food at them for like a minute or more, until that army is defeated. Then Wave 2 begins with everything else being thrown at them. Troops, tanks, ketchups, exabytes, whatever else have you. Many other icons get taken down, and wait a second, that's the Tootsie Pop Owl. Finally, my bingo card is filled. How early did it take for you to fill your bingo card? I comment about it. Anyway, where was I? Sorry, got excited about the bingo card. And the audio quality just fluctuates here. Just randomly getting a little muffled, like if you were talking like this. And Harry Holt finds out he's been betrayed by Lady X, tries storming off in a dignified manner before running off, freaking out. Maybe it was the fact that he keeps tearing his hair out from stress, or the fact that the city is being destroyed. Also, Polar is killed, causing Dex to finally speak louder than that monotone voice he's been having for the entire movie. It doesn't last, so don't bother. Either way, another Ike bites the dust. Speaking of that ability, I wish I could use it to forget I ever watched this movie and prevent it from happening. However, it is not in my Stan's abilities to do that. And enough JoJo, back to the movie. The sound glitch happens again in the middle of one of Vlad's lines when he shows up in the Copa Banana, where Dex gives Dan a pep talk, then they all fly to Lady X's tower. Cheese Weasel manages to cause a lightning storm through Slapstick, destroying any heavy artillery that Brand X may have, or has remaining, making the trip easier. He destroys the source of the Exobots and gets to the top of the tower through a pretty jarring transition. He saves Sunshine, stops Tin Curry, and he wets himself and likes it. Moving on. Sunshine stares at the screen lifelessly as she thanks Dex, and they escape the collapsing building. Don't ask how it was standing up like this and not falling over. That's anyone's guess. And stop asking questions. The movie is almost over. But Mr. Clipboard has somehow made it into the city and is ready to extract revenge on everyone. Sunshine worries for Dex's safety, but even though she is clearly panicking, she is smiling the entire time. Dex rushes forward, ready to take him on, and trips him through a classic wire trap. After Mr. Clipboard crashes into the ground, his face opens up to reveal Lady X. And to give more plot twist, she reveals that she was also Priscilla Pusley, the prune Ike, and explains how she set everything up and how she changed her appearance. But enough about me, let's kill you! She goes on the attack on Dex through martial arts, tossing her melons around, accidentally hitting Mr. Clean. Something else to bring up, Mr. Clean has been splattered by a bunch of stuff throughout this movie, just like how that shopping cart keeps attacking Leonard's car. Anyway, Dex can't bring himself to hit a girl, so Sunshine does it for him. A literal cat fight as she treats Lady X like a speed bag while her face doesn't react at all to any of it. And one final punch, and Lady X turns back into Priscilla, who is then taken back to Recalled while Harry Holt congratulates the hero. How did he get his hair back? And also, Nose Guy is back with an antidote for the fallen ice, so they get brought back to life. How do they celebrate? A massive orgy. Oh, whoops, wrong movie. A wedding between Dex and Sunshine. We cut to the end where the groom steps on a glass. He's Jewish. Mazel tov. Yeah, Dex is Jewish. Why? Because his food is kosher. And what does this have to do with anything? Nothing, except I can link Hanukkah into this Christmas special. So that was Food Fight. And boy, is this movie way past its expiration date. The animation was poor, the characters were ugly, and the writing and sound quality were all over the place. Also, there were bad food puns, and be thankful that I skipped over most of those. And for the Casablanca references, I am shocked to find that my favorite scene wasn't ruined by this movie. But at the same time, I am very thankful. By the way, I've been reading all of your feedback saying you wish you could see some of the footage while I was talking. I didn't do it for this one because it's actually a blessing in disguise. Seriously, this movie is that bad to look at. You're welcome. Another thing I was planning on doing was tearing the script in half and going on a review of Sausage Party, but I am contractually obligated to review the movie at hand. I have to give you what you came for. I am not pro Jared's Top 10 Boobs in Gaming. Anyway, in short, if you want something cute with a bunch of icons that you love, watch this Super Target commercial that has a bunch of them in it. Also a MasterCard commercial with all of them having dinner. It's all adorable and good fun, you'll get a lot more out of it than this. Either way, happy holidays, have a wonderful time with your friends and family. Thank you for watching, Bobsheaux for hosting, I don't know where I'm pointing, and for those of you on my channel, I'm going to have a little Super Smash Bros. Wintry music replay coming soon. Hope to see you there for that. See you around!